Hi, everyone. Welcome to the College Fairs of Greater Denver Virtual College Fair. Thank you so much for joining us. We are really excited you're here. My name is Catherine, and I will be your facilitator for this session. Before we get started, we have a few housekeeping items to note. First, your camera and microphone are off. You are muted and your video is off. The panelists can't see or hear you. If you have any questions at all, feel free to use the Q&A button to type in your questions to the presenters at any time. They are here, ready and available to answer your questions. And all sessions are being recorded, including this one, and will be available at strivescan.com/greaterdenver. We are currently in session F6. Where my mouse is circling at the moment. And this is also the same order of presentations. So without further ado, I'll get out of the way and I'd like to introduce our very first representative from Occidental College.
All right, hi everybody. I'm quickly going to drop a few links in the chat for some useful things you might want to see here. My name is Jessie Fontana Maisel, and I am visiting from Occidental College, which is a small liberal arts college in Los Angeles. I also went to Oxy myself, so I'm very happy to answer any questions that you might have about the student life. And here's just a bit of our mission here at Oxy. We believe that our unique mix of academic excellence, Los Angeles location, and a collaborative community provide really the best preparation for life after college. And we definitely try to emphasize the foundations that we can give you in a liberal arts environment in a big city in order to prepare you for what might come after Oxy. Just to look at what our sort of numbers look like, we are a student body of about 2,000 students. And we have a very small average class size, so about 18 students in most of your classes. We don't have any classes at Oxy over 50 students. So if you thrive in the small classroom environment, this is very much the place for you. Our student to faculty ratio is 9-to-1, which means all of your professors at Oxy are not only going to know your name, but also know all the great things that you're getting up to outside of the classroom. And we have 34 great majors and 10 additional minors that you can study in at Oxy. But we definitely have really collaborative academics as well as a really interdisciplinary approach as well. So you'll never just be studying one subject in isolation. And in terms of our location, I did mention we're in Los Angeles, but you can kind of get a sense here of this orange bubble where we're more specifically located in Northeast LA, about 9 miles from Hollywood, about 23 miles from the beach. So lots of great things to get involved with if you come to Oxy. And being in Los Angeles is a huge part of the Oxy student experience in terms of their academics and their professional growth, and also a lot of fun and personal things that you can get up to in Los Angeles as well. In terms of our academics, I did mention that we are a small liberal arts college. We use a very open core program to sort of be the foundation of your academic experience here at Oxy. So rather than being a list of required classes that you have to take to graduate, the core program is actually a list of sort of subjects and topics that we think are really useful for you to take classes in order to graduate. We call our program open because there are a lot of different classes in different departments that you can choose to fulfill each of your requirements. So for example, we'd like you to take a class that looks at the world before the year 1800. But there are 25 different courses across all different departments that you can take to fulfill that requirement. So the core program is really something that you can tailor to your own academic interests and the ways that you want to challenge yourself. And every student comes to Oxy with their major undeclared. So the core program is a really nice way to sort of pick and choose what types of classes or subjects that you might be interested in. We also are a very research-heavy institution with a huge global focus. And so studying either abroad or taking your classes out of the classroom and into the local LA area is really important to us. Students will either conduct independent research or work with a faculty mentor on research here at Oxy. And every single student completes a research project in the format of their senior comprehensive project, which is done in the context of a senior seminar with everybody else in your major. And it's a really lovely cumulative way to share all the things you've learned across all 4 years at Oxy. We also have over 100 study abroad programs, and about 75% of the student body will either choose to do research abroad or conduct or do a study abroad program. I personally studied abroad twice as an Oxy student, went to Italy with a course with my professor and with my classmates to study Michelangelo. And then I went back to Rome for a full semester to both take classes and do an internship abroad. And learning in Los Angeles is a huge part of the Oxy experience as well. So a lot of our classes will try to take you outside of the classroom to interact with the greater LA area, whether you're taking an econ class that visits the Port of Los Angeles, or maybe a theater class that's going to local theater productions in the area. Or for me, I was an art history major, so going out into museums and galleries to see the real practical application of the theoretical concepts that you're learning in the classroom. That's really important to us at Oxy. We are also a very residential campus. So even though we're located in a really big city, we have over 120 acres of campus, as you can kind of see in my floating head behind me, a screenshot of our quad. And so we do require students to live on campus for 3 years, but you are guaranteed housing for 4. So in this picture, you can see a nice little snapshot of what an average room in a residence hall might look like. And we have a lot of really nice sort of community-based living options. And so even our students who decide to live off campus as seniors are usually just a few blocks walking distance to campus and still very involved in student life as well. Oxy is a very community service and community oriented group. So you will see that across all of our clubs and organizations and across our varsity sports as well. So we are a Division III school with 20 varsity sports, and about 25% of the student body are varsity athletes. So if you are a senior listening to this, I highly recommend going on oxyathletics.com and reaching out to the coach to form those connections. We also have some really amazing clubs and organizations, whether those are cultural clubs or pre-professional clubs or clubs just for fun as well. This is a nice little snapshot of what our first year class profile looks like. I think most important to call out is that we were 47% domestic students of color at Oxy. We really champion diversity, and this is diversity across absolutely everything we do. And so just to wrap it up, here's our admission deadlines. You can see ED1 November 15th and ED2 January 10th, with regular decision as January 10th as well. I've got my email here, so if anyone has any questions, feel free to send me an email or ask a question in the chat. Thanks so much.
Great, thank you. The next representative is from the University of the Pacific.
Thank you, thank you. Let me just get my screen shared here. Okay, so thank you. My name is Corinne. I am with University of the Pacific. I'm an alumni from University of the Pacific. I have worked there for just about 3 years now as well, and I've grown up in the city of Stockton, which of course is where UOP is located as well. Go ahead and, okay, there we go. So I am going to share a video with us today just because I know we don't have much time, and I think this video does a really good job of showing a bunch of different aspects of Pacific and of course providing really good visual to it as well. But beforehand, I wanted to kind of give a visual about where Pacific actually is. So I know a lot of us are not in the state of California, but Pacific is located within the state. But as you can see, we do have 3 campuses throughout the whole state. Main campus being in Stockton. That's where the majority of our undergraduate majors are located. It's also where our pharmacy school is located. And then we do have a dental school in San Francisco, the Dugoni School of Dentistry, as well as a law school in Sacramento, the McGeorge School of Law. So let me just get this video started.
Some of us learn best in a small college setting. One-on-one conversations with professors, small class and lab sizes, mentoring relationships and friendships built to last a lifetime. Others want the choices provided by a major university. Scores of majors and programs leading to unlimited career paths, an endless menu of activities, student clubs, concerts, social events, recreational and big-time college sports. At University of the Pacific, California's private university of choice, our students have the best of both worlds. Students are attracted to Pacific's inclusive and caring culture. Professors know each student by name. Pacific also has the opportunities and choices of a major university. 10 schools and colleges offer more than 100 majors and specialized programs, and almost all of our students learn in internship settings. Students can enroll in accelerated programs on our San Francisco, Sacramento, and Stockton campuses to earn advanced degrees in dentistry, law, and pharmacy. These experiences launch our students onto successful careers in business, healthcare, engineering, computer science, pharmacy, arts and entertainment, education, the law, and more. Pacific is ranked among the top 2% of all U.S. universities for alumni salaries. And it all happens on one of America's most beautiful campuses, conjuring up a classic East Coast university, but with a West Coast vibe. Students take day trips to the world-class city of San Francisco, breathtaking Big Sur, Yosemite National Park, and the ski resorts of Lake Tahoe, all within reach of our picturesque campus, nestled in Northern California. We are the state's first and oldest university. We opened California's first medical school and first conservatory of music. We are California's first university to welcome women. Today, we are one of California's most diverse universities, and we continue to innovate with new opportunities for students. The personalized education of a small college, the choices of a major university. University of the Pacific, the best of both worlds.
Okay, I think that does a good job of just showing a lot of different aspects of Pacific and also allowing you to see a bunch of different visuals as well. But if you take a look at the screen now, you can see all the different majors that we do offer. As it mentioned, we have over 100 different majors and programs that we do have. They range from popular majors that are traditional, like biological sciences, computer science, various different engineering options, psychology, education. But we also do have many accelerated pre-professional programs, such as pre-dentistry and pre-pharmacy, where you can become a dentist or pharmacist in 5, 6, or 7 years, and quite a few other programs as well that have some type of accelerated feature built within them. Every single major that you do see here, if it's not required, has an option for an internship opportunity. The vast majority of our students complete at least one internship while they're here at Pacific, so there's definitely opportunity to get hands-on experience. Generally, average class size, just about 23 students. We have a 13-to-1 student to faculty ratio, and our undergraduate student population is about 3,600. So we definitely are that smaller type of university in terms of the academic setting, but we do have 17 Division I sports teams, and we have over 150 various different clubs and organizations. So we have a very large school vibe in many ways too. So if we are interested in applying for any of my seniors, our application is currently on the Common App as well as on our website. Either one works, we don't have a preference. Our early action deadline is November 15th. It's non-binding, but if you apply by then, you will hear back from us by about January. With that, you'll also receive your academic merit-based scholarship, which will range from $10,000 to $25,000 per year. Of course, we also encourage students to always submit a FAFSA as well. And then we also do have a regular admission decision deadline, January 15th, if you're not quite ready by November 15th. We are test optional for fall 2022, and I will share my contact information if you have any questions as well. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. We appreciate all the great information. Just a friendly reminder that if anyone has any questions at all, to feel free to submit those questions through the Q&A button. Any questions you have, our representatives are here, ready and available to answer them. Our next representative is from IE University.
Awesome. Thank you, Catherine. Hi, everyone. I hope you're well. My name is Micah Trobman, and I'm here to talk to you about IE University, which I believe is the only international school here tonight. But we are located in Spain. So some quick facts about Spain if you've never been. It's an amazing, super affordable country. It's known for diversity. And it's the second most visited country in the world, which is always a surprising fact. It's got a great vibrant nightlife, lots of festivals, lots of beaches. It's kind of like the California of Europe, except more affordable. I also went to IE, didn't speak any Spanish, so it's definitely doable, and it's a great place to start. So a little bit more about IE. We have 2 locations, 1 experience. So we do have 2 campuses in Spain. Our first campus is in Segovia, which is just northwest of Madrid. It was built in 1218. It's more of a rural campus. So if you love hiking, mountains, nature, you can start there. Our campus is also protected by the United Nations. So if international relations is something you want to study or are interested in, you'll be working with them. And the reason why it's protected by the United Nations is because it's a World Heritage Site. And then about 35 minutes southeast is our other campus in the capital of Madrid. Of course, it's urban, it is a capital, and we just put up our new campus, which we have been building for several years. It's called the IE Tower. It's the 3rd tallest university in the world and the first and only high-rise university in Europe. A little bit more into IE. We are known for our small class sizes, but also our international and diverse community. So over 75% of our students are coming from all over the world to study at IE. We have more than 140 nationalities on campus. There are more than 45 languages spoken on campus, but all of our programs are taught in English. Some quick facts. We are highly ranked. We're #1 in Spain, top 10 in Europe, top 20 worldwide. All of your degrees at IE are globally recognized. So that means if you want to continue and do a post-grad anywhere in the world you can, or even work, it offers you a lot of mobility. We have a lot of success because we are international at getting students jobs within 6 months of graduating. About 43% of them actually work in a different country outside of the one that they came from previously before coming to IE. And we are also known for entrepreneurship. So if entrepreneurship or growing your own company or learning how to do that, that's something that's interesting to you, this is a great school to go and learn all about that. We have a lot of our students that actually graduate with their own companies. We're also known for our practical teaching methodology, which I'll get a little bit more into, technology and innovation, humanities and sustainability. These are going to be some of our degrees that we offer. Some ones just to highlight, business admin is probably our most applied to degree, along with international relations and law. And then all of our dual degrees are always on wait lists. Something to note about our law program is if you are looking to be a lawyer in the US, we actually have a partnership with Northwestern. It's a IE Northwestern 3-2 program, which means you'll study law at IE for 3 years and then transfer to Northwestern to do your JD and be a lawyer in the US within 5 years, which is unheard of even here in the US. You usually shave off about 2 to 3 years because you get so much experience while you're at IE. Regardless of what you choose to study, we want you to build your own path. So really studying your degree is going to be kind of your background and then learning what you can do and apply to that. So we offer many different ways for you to do that, from electives to advanced seminars, but mainly through internships and IEU labs. So IEU labs starting your 1st and 2nd year. They are on-campus internships, companies from all over the world, ones that you may know by name or even smaller ones that are startups, will offer you internships so you can explore if you want, to go into communications or culture or social impact like sustainability, what that world is like, and if that's something that you're actually interested in. You can do that again for your first couple years, and then moving to your 3rd and 4th year, you can do an international exchange. So essentially study abroad while you study abroad. We are partnered with some of the top universities globally, but you can also choose to do a paid internship abroad as well. Campus life is super vibrant. It's amazing. I had the best time, joined many clubs. We have over 125 and they're growing each year. And I want to get a little bit more into the application process. So where do you apply at IE? How do you apply? And it's really a lot like the American colleges. We are available on Common App, or you can apply on our website. We do require an admissions test, but it's our own admissions test. So if you don't want to take the SAT or ACT or haven't been able to, totally understandable. The reason why we have our own admissions test is to make it available for everybody globally. Not everybody has access to those testing. And then it also evens the playing field with all the different high school diplomas that are coming to IE. It measures your English, which nobody here will have an issue with. But it's an aptitude test. So it just measures how you learn. So there's actually no study time for it. It's done on your laptop. It takes about an hour. We also have an online assessment, which is just 3 questions, an interview, and then a final decision. You usually hear back within a month. So think maybe apply in the fall. So that way you can actually apply to financial aid from IE specifically. 11th grade students, we have opportunities for you. And of course, 12th grade students, of course, we have housing, but that's it for me. So I will leave it to the next presenter, but I look forward to staying in touch.
Thank you. Our next representative is from Soka University of America.
Hello, everyone. My name is Chelsea, and I am one of the admission staff members for Soka University. Very happy to talk with you tonight about our university. We are in Southern Orange County, California, about an hour south of LA and an hour north of San Diego in the traditional and ancestral homeland of the Hachiman people. We are 3 miles inland of the Pacific Ocean. You can't see the water, but we are surrounded by a nice wilderness canyon. The reason that students come to Soka is because they resonate with our mission, which is to foster a steady stream of global citizens committed to living a contributive life. The word Soka is a translation of the Japanese concept value creation. So by being Soka student, you're creating value with your life and you're contributing towards the improvement of society. We have 450 students. We're a very small intentional community by design, and 40% of our student body comes from a country outside the US. We're the most ethnically diverse liberal arts school in the nation for that reason. We really encourage this because we want, again, global citizenship and global discussions happening on a daily basis. We are also an entirely residential community, so students make Soka their home for all 4 years. We have a singular major, it's the BA in liberal arts, because we think it's the most transferable degree and it's the most holistic for the development of each student. But we have 5 concentrations that students can specialize in. We are known for our study abroad requirement, but not so well known for our capstone, which is our senior research project as well. Soka has a 7-to-1 student to faculty ratio and an average class size of 12. So we use discussion dialogue-based learning and very familiar with the Socratic seminar. We compete in NA athletics in our 5 teams, and we have nationally recognized merit and need-based financial aid program. Our education really focuses on Eastern and Western perspectives, specifically the Pacific Basin, which is rising in importance in global affairs. And Soka has our study abroad program, which is tied to the foreign language studies. So everyone will take Mandarin, Japanese, French, or Spanish for their first 2 years. And then in their 3rd year, they'll spend either fall or spring semester studying in a city that speaks that language. So it's a true immersion program. And because it is a requirement, it is built into the cost of tuition. So Soka makes up the difference and makes sure that every single student can participate regardless of their family income. For our students who are undocumented or for health reasons cannot leave the country, there is a domestic alternative to the semester away. These are our 5 concentrations: environmental studies, humanities, international studies, life sciences, and social behavioral sciences. They are not preset, so students do get to pick and choose the classes that will make up their concentration with their faculty advisor. And they don't declare till the end of their 2nd year. In terms of what it's like to live on campus, all of our students, 1st year will be in a double. After that, it's a suite, but it's only ever you and your roommate sharing a bathroom. We have a full-time mental health counselor on campus, which is really important, as well as a health center. Office of Disability Services does both residential and personal accommodations. Career development helps students have a plan for graduation, and we have a full meal plan. So students do get to eat 3 times a day on the school day, twice on the weekends, and it's all you can eat buffet style. Soka students are pretty active. We have about 30 clubs. Dancing is particularly popular, and also, of course, our cultural clubs, MUN, things like that. We have affinity groups like the Black Student Union, LGBT Team, or the Student of Color Coalition. And there's many opportunities for leadership, either as a student orientation leader, as a resident assistant or in student government. We have on-campus employment for both international and domestic students, service engagement opportunities like our alternative spring break, which is very popular, and rec classes, as well as the Soka Performing Arts Center and our critical conversation lecture series. These are some sample posters by Residential Life that put on to really focus on self-care, helping celebrate the different identities on Soka's campus, celebrating holidays, and just community bonding. Our 5 athletic teams are part of the NAIA and the CalPAC division for men and women's soccer, cross country, track and field, swimming and diving, and women's golf. Majority of these students will be actively recruited, but they do take walk-ons as well. Our admission process is open for the coming fall. Early action deadline is November 1st. It is non-binding, and regular decision deadline is January 15th. Soka uses holistic review in making admission decisions, so we don't have any minimum GPAs. We look at all the factors when deciding if the student is going to contribute academically to our campus, will thrive in our social environment, and aligns with our mission statement and goals as an institution. Although Soka is founded on Buddhist principles of peace, human rights, and the sanctity of life, we are non-sectarian and we welcome students of all faiths to come to the university. And of note, this year we are test optional for students who are applying. Our tuition is about $32,000 and our room and board is $13,000. The Soka Opportunity Grant is the way that majority of Soka students are affording. If your family makes under $60,000, we will cover the full amount of tuition. And for families above that, it's a sliding scale. We offer merit scholarship up to $13,000. So low income but high achieving students can have their full costs, direct costs met. But we also take athletic scholarships, federal student loans, and federal funding. So 98% of our students qualified last year. We're a happy team, ready to support you. I am the Colorado counselor, and thank you very much for listening.
Thank you. Again, all great information shared from all representatives so far. Just another friendly reminder that if anyone has any questions at all, to feel free to submit those using the Q&A button towards the bottom of your screen. Any questions at all about the college application process, or even any questions specific to any of our representatives here, feel free to go ahead and share, and we encourage you to include the school name. The next representative is from Cal Poly, and turn it away.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Let me get going here. All right. Thank you all for coming tonight. We really appreciate your time. My name is Leanne Schmitz. I'm the Regional Admissions Manager for Cal Poly. And what that means is that I'm based here in the Denver metro area. So I'm right here with you. Cal Poly is located in the city of San Luis Obispo. We are on the central coast of California, literally halfway between San Francisco and Los Angeles. The city of San Luis Obispo, or SLO as the locals call it, is about 45 to 50,000 people, and Cal Poly is about 21,000. So we're nearly half the population of that community. So it definitely has that college town vibe to it. I think of it a lot as like a smaller Boulder or a smaller Fort Collins in some ways, because as you can see, we've got the beautiful mountains right next to campus. I should use the air quotes mountains right next to campus, but then we're also only about 10 minutes away from 6 or 7 different beaches. So it's pretty idyllic from that aspect. But we're also really well known for our strong academics. And Cal Poly has been named the best in the West of public master's level universities for 29 years in a row now. But one of the things that definitely distinguishes our institution is our philosophy of learn by doing, which permeates absolutely everything that we do at the institution. And this next slide is going to give you a really good taste of what that looks like for a lot of our students.
How you start each new day says a lot about you. At Cal Poly, we begin as we always have, by putting knowledge into action. We call it learn by doing. And for more than a century, we've made this idea the center of everything we do. We believe that experience is part of the curriculum. We don't see any difference between education and the real world. We know that it's the best way to learn and keep learning for the rest of our lives. So when we begin our day, we dive right in, head first and hands on. Because we're not satisfied to sit on the sidelines of our own education, and we know that if we want to make an impact on our world tomorrow, we have to put in the work today. If at first we don't succeed, we rework, rearrange, reimagine, redesign, rethink, rebuild, and refuse to give up. Because our state, our nation, and our world need us to be ready from day one, to take what we learn by doing and use it to help build a brighter future. How you start each day says a lot about you. How you spend your day says even more about how you'll start your career and how you'll live your life. Because it's one thing to be ready one day, and it's quite another to be ready day one.
You know what I like so much about this video is it really does give you a good overview of what Learn by Doing looks like for some of our students. It might be animal science students in the foaling barn. You've got mechanical engineering students building race cars. You've got child development psychology students working in our daycare center on campus. But every single one of our 64 majors incorporates that philosophy of Learn by Doing into the curriculum. And it might be classroom projects, it might be student clubs and organizations, it might be internships and research, but it's definitely a big part of who we are. And one of the main reasons a lot of students look at Cal Poly as an institution. Something that's quite unique in our application process is that we do ask you to apply directly to the major when you apply to the university. And that's because we offer what we call our upside down curriculum. So rather than taking 2 years of general education courses and then major courses, you start taking those courses in your major side by side alongside those general ed courses from the very beginning. And we do try to keep our class sizes fairly small. Average class size right now is 32, and we have an 18-to-1 faculty student ratio. Lots of things to do on campus. Obviously, there's the outdoor lifestyle that you have direct access to with both the ocean and the mountains, but we've got over 400 different clubs and organizations. We are Division I athletic teams. Our Week of Welcome and our Slow Days are nationally recognized orientation programs, and so we're quite proud of those, and they're really impactful to our students. And we do require that first-time freshmen live on campus for their first year. 3 of our colleges, of the 6 colleges, do require students to live on campus for 2 years. And if you are tired of life in San Luis Obispo and want to get away, we've got an outstanding study abroad program. We have about 500 different program offerings in 75 different locations. So a little bit of something for everyone. And I'm not going to go into great detail on the selection criteria here. If you want to take a screenshot of this, that might be helpful with the course information that's important. But there's 3 things that we're looking at for the application. We're looking at the coursework that you've taken in high school. I cannot emphasize enough how important that is. We're looking at the grades that you've received in those courses from 9th grade through 11th grade. And we're looking at extracurricular activities and work experience. Cal Poly, along with the entire California State University system, is test blind for fall 2022. I don't know what fall 2023 is going to look like yet. You'll have to keep an eye on our space and check that out. And the application opens tomorrow. So our application is open from October 1st to November 30th, and it goes through Cal State Apply. It is the only way to apply to Cal Poly. We don't do early action. We don't do early decision. And we will be offering some virtual workshops for students. And so you can check out things on our website and see what you can do there. And I do encourage you to check us out virtually. We are open in person for visits once again, but in the meantime, check us out online. And then if you've got any questions, do not hesitate to reach out to me. I am here to help you in any way that I can. And thanks again for coming. We appreciate it.
Awesome, thank you. Our last representative, but certainly not least, is from Harvey Mudd College.
I'm muted. Now I'm not. Hey everyone, welcome to Harvey Mudd College. My name is Shayla. I'm an admission counselor here at HMC. I'm also a first-gen college graduate, and I'm from Denver. So, woo woo. I hope everyone is wooing back in Colorado. So, Harvey Mudd is a small liberal arts college that focuses on math, science, engineering, and computer science. We are centrally located. We're about 35 miles east of Los Angeles, California, on the ancestral land of the Tonga people. Again, we are centrally located, meaning that we're not too far away from the city of LA, not too far from the beaches, and the mountains are about a 20-minute drive. We're also about a 15-minute walk from the town center of Claremont, which is great. For the Colorado crowd, which I know all of you are, I can see the San Gabriel Mountains from my office windows when I need a little bit of a reminder of home. Of course, it's not the same as the Rockies, but it is still nice and accessible if you need to get out and hike a little bit or move your body. Our focus is to educate students broadly in STEM so that they're ready to find connections between these fields, but also with enough exposure to non-STEM fields so that they can understand their work in the real world context in which their work is going to live. So we want our students to ask questions like, is my work ethical? Excuse me. Is it necessary? Is it culturally accessible? Is it financially accessible? How is it going to impact other fields? And how is it going to impact real people? We offer 10 majors, all in STEM, and are a really good fit for students who want to study STEM in an interdisciplinary way. That is, with special attention to the intersection of these different disciplines in STEM. In your first semesters at MUD, you'll participate in CORE, which gives you a solid background in just about every STEM field, including engineering, pure math, physics, biology, chemistry, computer science, and then we also have some cross in between. Again, we are focused on interdisciplinary study. We're also a great fit for students who want to really dive deep into STEM, but who don't want to give up everything else in the process, because you're going to be taking a number of humanities, social sciences, and arts courses in your time at MUD. Our curriculum really prepares students for success because it teaches them to collaborate and think beyond their discipline. It prepares them as strong presenters and strong writers. It also gives them the ability to both understand the high-level technical skills, but put them in non-technical terms, so people who don't have the same background as them can understand it and be included. We nurture both the technical, mechanical, but also the interpersonal and the social skills that are going to make you really successful, again, in the real world. If you want to do a fun exercise, I would say real world work 3 times fast, and then you would know why I stumbled during these presentations. Lastly, we're also a great fit for students who want to do research. 100% of our students do research because it is a graduation requirement. You will work side by side with students, professors, and even outside corporations, some of them listed on the screen right there. I want to emphasize that this is really high-level research. It's something that we do early. Even though it's a requirement of your senior year, this is something that all students, all grade levels have access to. This is also something we do very often, and it also is lastly something that we do very well. We are a strictly undergraduate institution with a student-faculty ratio of 8:1. So all of our research opportunities are built just for you as an undergraduate. This mix of core curriculum, research opportunities, humanities, social sciences, and arts is why we're currently ranked #1 in terms of mid-career salaries and return on investment according to payscale.com. We're also #1 in terms of best career placement according to the Princeton Review. We have a small, close-knit community that is very much rooted in collaboration and our student-run honor code. Both collaboration and the honor code really impact all aspects of student life, as students are encouraged and trusted to collaborate on assignments, homework, and projects, which ultimately, again, sets you up for success. We are part of the Claremont Consortium, which is a consortium or group of small liberal arts colleges that were all built literally across the street from each other, so that we can share resources. This is a really great system because it allows us to offer you personalized attention. We have less than 1,000 undergraduates, but also with the experiences and resources that you might get at a medium-sized to a small university. So in total, we have about 6,000 students across the 5 colleges. You can take classes, eat meals, attend events, join athletics, and receive student support across all 5 campuses. Again, we are located all within a square mile of each other. Lastly, we are test optional this year, and we do meet 100% of demonstrated need. We also have opportunities for merit-based and need-based aid. I am your college rep, so please don't hesitate to reach out if you want to know more. I dropped the link to our Instagram in the chat, and I also dropped a link to my personal business card if you want to reach out or learn more about us. You definitely should. You should check us out. We have a lot to offer.
Awesome. And great way to end from all our representatives. We do have some time left. So at this time, we're going to go ahead now and pivot into our Q&A portion of this session. I invite all our representatives to go ahead and turn on their cameras, to get ready to unmute themselves. And we'll go ahead and get started with our first question here, which is, what advice would you give someone going through the college search process? What advice would you give someone going through the college search process? And we'll go ahead and get started in the same order in which you all started in.
Hi, what a great question, first of all. I think my best advice is to do as many campus visits as you possibly can. I might be a little biased because I'm also the campus visit coordinator at Occidental College. So I see firsthand what an amazing impact it can make on a student to be able to walk down the quad and really envision themselves at a college. So I think doing a college visit for the schools that definitely feel like a good match on paper is a really great way to get started. And for Oxy specifically, we are offering campus visits this fall. We have a 98% vaccination rate at Oxy, basically no COVID cases, which has been really amazing. So we're able to welcome people to campus for campus tours and information sessions, as well as large open house events this fall as well. So maybe I'll send some links in the chat too, and to sort of let you register for those if you're interested in coming to campus.
Mine is simply to just check out schools sometimes that you wouldn't necessarily maybe not know about, right? I think we all know like our local schools very, very well, and those are always good to keep in mind. But if you're interested in going out of state, or you like a smaller school, or maybe you're interested in even going international, right, out of the country, it's worth checking them out. Look at the website. If you can't come and check out the campus, then do that virtual tour. And if it piques your interest, if you can come visit, definitely do.
I love that answer. I would definitely say for someone who maybe procrastinates, to make a Gmail account for all of the schools that you're going to be applying to. So all of your communications, your applications is in one place that's centralized. And not to apply with your high school email, because those things tend to kind of shut off in the summer. And if you were communicating with your college, you know, later in the year about housing or anything, you're not going to get those emails. And lastly, to apply to at least one international school. I think anybody who's done a study abroad program, whether they started in the US and then did their study abroad in Europe, have the most amazing things to say. So definitely take that into consideration, because it tends to be extremely affordable.
Love that. That's such good advice with the the Gmail. I would add to that, you should be brave during the exploration part of the college process, because if you're going to a school that's not so popular, you could become the spokesperson. You might be the person who's telling your high school counselor about it. But that's kind of a cool sense of empowerment that comes with that.
And I would say put together a spreadsheet with the name of the institution, the deadline dates, when the application or what the application is, if there's a separate deadline for scholarships, what they need. You know, are they taking ACT? Are they taking SAT? What are those things, so that you've got everything in one place and you can just check. Make sure that you're not missing any important deadlines and that you haven't forgotten to submit a letter of recommendation for a school that requires it. So that would be my advice.
Yeah, those were all great. I wrote some of those down for a younger sister who's applying to schools. I would say don't be afraid to reach out. This is our job. You can email us. All of us provided our emails. You can ask to talk to students who are there. You can ask to be connected to maybe a student who's also from Colorado who happens to be at that school, and just try to get a feel of what it feels like to them. But also don't be afraid to ask for help in terms of the college process. Ask your counselors, ask your teachers, ask your friends to proofread your essay. There's a lot of things that you can do. It feels like a very individual path or an individual process, but you can make it communal and you can have fun doing it. So I would encourage trying to make the most of the stressful time.
And I couldn't agree more. I think that's a great way to end. We're right at time. So our representatives did great with that question. Again, just so much great advice being shared. And I think it's definitely helpful to hear from those who work in the respective roles at their institution to just share, shed light and bring suggestions that they've seen and worked with other students. So again, thank you so much to our representatives for being here. We really appreciate your time. And thank you to each of you for joining us. We have now reached the conclusion of this session. As we close, there'll be a very quick 5-question survey that will appear on your browser. If you don't mind taking a moment to fill that out for us, your feedback is extremely helpful. And lastly, this session is being recorded as long as many other sessions, and feel free to check those out at strivescan.com/Greater Denver. Again, thank you all and have a great night.